All right, so there's a little bit of a problem here that I hope to demonstrate. Let's get onto some uneven ground so that we can see the problem. So I'm going to try to hit this guy. Okay, I did hit him, but this guy, see? I'm not hitting him. He's hitting me. See? The problem is that when you lock onto somebody, the attack still goes straight, right? Yeah, I think this is definitely the strat for dealing with multiple enemies, is rolling a lot. You can get... we can stun this guy. But yeah, so basically the problem is that when we hit, the attack goes basically straight forward. And if anyone is low to the ground, and we'll probably be able to see this with the crocodiles, so I'll go see the crocodiles. They're over here. How are the audio levels, by the way? Am I loud enough? Is the music too loud? All right. Here's a guy. All right. So sometimes it's very hard to hit this guy because see, he's too short. So you have to be like really up against him in order to hit him. It's okay. Thanks, Firefly. All right, we killed him. So it's okay. It's like you can kill the guy, but he's a little short. So we're gonna go ahead and quit out of here. We're gonna go ahead and put on the programming music, and then we're gonna see if we can figure out how to fix that. So if I turn that on, and I get the cool. We're gonna do a little bit of dev work. Okay, so the code for this is going to be in the character class, I believe. Character.cpp. And it's going to be under attack in the attack state. The character controller itself is quite a messy file. It's over almost 3,000 lines of code in this file, but this is where we want to be, I believe, in the attack state. So I think the first thing we want to do is visualize the attack volume, like visualize the area, the hitbox, basically. So this is if we're using a gun, so we don't really care about that. And this is if we're not using a gun. So we have this add damage volume function. That's in damageable.cpp. Do we include... I'm just going to include the renderer file in here so we can... or is it render.h? Yeah. And then adding the damage volume. Okay, so we're gonna make it so that attacker, 1 second. Okay, so it's a sphere. Yeah, it's a sphere, but it's a convex cast. So this is, we're going to put it in this branch here. Why is my intelligence not working? Active render. Why are you not working? Just a second. Okay, here we go. Dot. Add. I guess we're gonna add a sphere. Yeah, and then its center is gonna be its start position. We're gonna give it no rotation. And the radius is going to be equal to this radius. And let's make it red. And then we're going to add a second sphere at the endpoint. So we're going to add the attack vector to that. All right. So if we run that, now when we attack, we should show what the attack shape looks like. Oh, yeah, we got to turn off the stream music. Or let's just turn off this music so we don't have to keep changing. 1 minute. Yeah, cool. So if we pick up this guy here, we should see that it oh, I made it purple by accident. Yeah, we'll have to fix that in a minute. Yeah, you can see where the attack is. And it's kind of right on top of his head. So what I think should happen is that the attack shape should align to the object that we're currently locked onto. Right? And that way, it will always aim at the correct object. So let's go look at the crocodiles again. And then that's going to show that we're on top of... Uh-oh. Oh, he's climbing. That we're hitting on top of their head, I think. Yeah, here they are. All right. All right, guys. Come on. Come at me. But if we come from this side... Yeah. It's a little, yeah, it's a little weird. All right. So, what I'm going to go ahead and do is look in the character where it shows add damage volume here. We'll recalculate the attack vector. Basically, the attack vector is using the current player's direction. And so we need to adjust that to make it face towards the lock-on, basically. So what we can do is we can add attack vector. Oh, we already have an attack vector. This is forward. We can call it forward. forward direction. And that's equal to the current player's forward direction. And so we can do this. And okay, so this is Z. Okay, so here's what we can do. We can do forward direction times compensated radius plus just the Z direction, sorry, the Y direction, which is straight down here. So yeah, that will hopefully work. So now we can add another branch for if we're locked on. So if locked on, all right, if we're locked on, we can add, so Ollie was asking, gators or crocs? I thought gators were crocodilia of the Americas. Common misconception. There are both crocodiles and alligators in the Americas. Alligators are more common in the United States, like in North America, like in Florida and places like that. But there are, in fact, several species of crocodiles, such as the American crocodile and the Cuban crocodile, which live in the Caribbean and in the North America. And hello, Sarah. Welcome to the stream as well. Sarah, we're working on the combat today. We're going to try to fix the problem where you can't hit guys who are too low, right? Yeah. So if we're locked on, the forward dir is going to be equal to, we want to get the vector from, actually, I think we do this in the, we literally do, yeah, okay. We're going to use the desired orientation forward direction instead of the actual orientation. And what that should do is rotate based on where our target is. So let's see. Okay, so now if we pick this up, so if we're not locked on, it'll still do the same thing as before. But if we are locked on, this guy is, pointed downwards. Yeah, okay, so it's kind of hard to see, but now it's like pointed directly into the ground, so it's hitting him. And we can try it with the crocodile, and hopefully that will work a little bit better. Wait, where are we? Sorry. Crocodiles are hanging out here. All right. So. Cool. Damn. Yeah, okay, got him. Immediately. Okay. Hopefully, yeah, hopefully this works better. Although, he's not being, like, his knockback is, like, I guess because he's being hit into the ground, he's not getting as much knockback. Yeah. But we are actually hitting him now. Yeah. It's very slow to kill him with the stick, though. I should probably have used a better weapon. Okay, let's give ourselves the sword. Alright, let's do this with the sword. It would be nice if his animation also pointed down to show that, but that's going to be something I have to do off stream. That's going to take a little bit more work. Cool. So let's try fighting the skeletons again. Maybe it'll be easier to hit. Just with the... Oh yeah, also I can grab the... where is it? There's another sword somewhere. Not here. Where is the... Kriegsmesser? Oh, it's up here. Let's get the Kriegsmesser. It's just kind of sitting on this rock. I need to find a better place to put it. Yeah. Is the size of the croc accurately to scale? More or less. I did it based on a picture, and then I did some like Wikipedia research to find out like on average how big they are. So like yeah, it's more or less correct. The species specifically is the Cuban crocodile. That's the one I went off, which are a little bit smaller than your average crocodile. Yeah. That croc is a tank. Yeah. I mean, definitely when I was using the stick, it was not doing a lot of damage. But also, it makes sense that crocs are kind of tank. Like, that is an animal you do not want to tangle with, right? I mean, obviously, I think the skeletons have more health. Not exactly... We can double check that, but... Okay, let's see. How much health does this guy have? This guy's got, 125 health. And this guy has 100. Yeah. Nope. Yeah, okay, we're also showing his, animation. Yeah. Okay, so that's actually also interesting. It tilts up as well, not just down. So I think that actually gives them a little... That actually makes the knockback go a little bit further, which is interesting, because it's more parallel to the ground. If they were healthy, maybe they wouldn't be a skeleton. Yes, that's true. Whoops. Oh, uh-oh. I'm getting owned here. I forgot to roll. That's my main that's the strat. You gotta roll, because that messes with their targeting. Dodged. Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, I think that actually helped a lot. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. Maybe when playtesters get hands on the build, that I'll get some feedback onto whether or not this is better. But I feel like this is better. I feel like this is an improvement. But we will have to look at the knockback for the crocs, because we definitely want the crocs to be knocked back horizontally. So here's what I'll do. How does it work? Okay, so the knockback goes through this damage volume mechanism. And we have this knockback force value, but there's no knockback direction. So here's what we can do. We can add a optional... Sarah says, it looks much better to me. I could barely kill anything unless we were exactly at the same height. Okay, yeah, so I think it's an improvement, but, I definitely do want the crocs to be knocked back horizontally instead of, vertically, I guess. Sorry, yeah, because they're being knocked directly into the ground. So what I'll do is I'll add sort of an optional parameter for this damage volume, which is like a knockback direction. Yeah. And if it's 0 or whatever, then like it, if its length is 0, then I guess it won't do anything. So we have optional. Yeah, okay, so let's add, we gotta go to that H file for this because we're using C++. Okay. Vec3. Optional knockback direction equals 1 point equal 0, I guess. We'll make it 0. And if it's 0, then we will do nothing. We will ignore it completely. All right. Yes, I know there's an error, but we're gonna fix that in just a second. There we go. All right. So we got optional knockback direction. You gotta pass it down to this as well. All right. So it's this apply impulse. Okay, so we'll have a branch here. So auto knockback dirlen equals knockback dot. Actually, we don't need that. So we can just do dot magnitude. Sorry, this is getting in the way here. Dot magnitude squared is greater than epsilon. Yeah. I realize there are some extremely super smart people in chat, but for those of you who aren't aware, epsilon is needed here because floating point numbers are kind of fuzzy. They don't always compare exactly to 0, right? Times knockback force. Okay, cool. So now yeah, we gotta add the optional knockback direction to these. Release the epsilon. Oh god, I'm not responding to that, sorry. All right, and there's one more place. I just got to make sure because this function is used by the scripting language, so I got to make sure adding that extra parameter didn't break anything. And I don't think it did because I think we set the default. So now what I'm gonna do in the character is make it so that the okay, wait 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to change this slightly. Tag direction equals locked on question mark. Desired orientation or forward direction, yeah, or transform. And then Okay, so actually this is gonna be set to here. And then this is gonna be attacked there. And then if we simply pass in the forward direction to this here, that's gonna make it so that the knockback is always horizontal, which should mean, or it's closer to being horizontal, yeah. Which should mean that the guys get knocked back more consistently. If I made a syntax error somewhere. Oh, semicolon, where it wasn't supposed to be. Alright. What do you mean? Redefinite. Oh, I see. Yeah, you can't do that. Alright. Alright. Yeah. So, let's go hit the crocodile and see if he gets knocked back in the correct direction. And let's get the sword. There's a sword right here. Let's just go ahead and teleport. I have also gotten some complaints from players that, like, basically the it takes too long to get places, and I'm just realizing now that I teleport a lot of the time when I'm developing the game. So I'm gonna see, like, there's definitely some ways that I wanted to improve, like, travel times, or at least make it more interesting. Okay, yeah, he's definitely getting knocked back horizontally, even though he's, like, super close, right? Hey, there we go. Got him. I think it should be easier to kill the crocs now, because of the knockback. He's still a tank, but he's a little bit less. How much health do they have, actually? I should know this off the top of my head, but, like, 150. Yeah, so actually he's got more health than the skeleton. Even the he's got feral horses. I thought about that, but I believe there were no horses in the Caribbean prior to... there were conquistadors. I could have skeletal horses, I guess. But I don't think they would have survived very long on the island. This is not exactly an ideal habitat for horses. Because, like, yeah. Okay. And this is kind of fun, actually. You can see what shape the crocodiles actually are with these blue things. This is how they... Riding crocodiles. That's like... That could be an idea, Sarah. Riding crocodiles. I'll consider that one. Alright. Let's kill this guy. Cool. Alright. Okay, cool. Now, skeleton horse, yeah. Yeah, I could do a skeleton horse. That's a possibility. To match the skeletal conquistadors. Give it a little bit more variation. Because, you know, conquistadors, if you've ever played Age of Empires 2, you would know that they were often riding horses. That's kind of their main Spanish unit there. Yeah. All right, so before we forget, let's get rid of the debug draw here. I'm just gonna comment it out because actually let's do the very slightly cleaner way of commenting something out. If def use debug draw, and then Now I don't have useless comments, but it effectively does the same thing. All right. All right, how we doing? How we doing? All right, Big Crab Beach. We got these guys. Oh yeah. So ideas for fast travel. I was not fast travel exactly, but like, I was trying to think like, how do we get around the map better? And I did implement one thing, but it doesn't exactly work super well gameplay wise for a couple reasons. But let's get ourselves the paddle for this. All right, flip this guy. Whoopsies. All right, cool. So we got a boat now, and if we get into the boat, we can row. This is definitely, I think this is faster than walking. But the problem is the rivers don't go everywhere. It's just kind of goes here. And if I did do rivers everywhere, I don't know. Maybe I should. Maybe I should just add more rivers. I just, like, you need to think of, like, where do the rivers come from? Like, hydrologically, or maybe I don't care very much. Maybe I shouldn't care as much. Just chilling, just doing a little paddle here. Let's see some seagulls up there somewhere. Magic carpet would work too. Yeah, I guess. If you wanna, I mean, I guess there's magic already. You gotta have plausible rivers so Annie Austin can make a video on them. Yes, I would love if Annie Austin did a video on this game. I think he would like it. I think this would be his kind of game. There's plenty of whatchamacallit. Why are we tilting? This is, uh-oh. That's a bug. We died.